The role of quarantine facilities is critical in stopping imported cases from leading to local transmissions. Most recently, there was even a case of foreign visitors escaping quarantine facilities. To manage isolation centers more effectively, South Korea will enlist the help of the private sector. Kyung-eun explains further.
Some 500 foreign entrants are housed in this hotel in Gimpo for a 2-week mandatory quarantine. But on Monday at around 3 a.m., 3 Vietnamese nationals escaped from the facility using a descending lifeline from the 6th floor. They were reported to the city after one employee spotted an emergency rope outside the building.
They used the rope, not an elevator, and that's how the employee was able to know because you could see it.
As of Tuesday, a total of 723 violations of self-quarantine have been reported, the majority coming from South Korean citizens. 17% of the violations were by foreigners. For Korean nationals and long-term residents with a place to stay, violating self-quarantine usually means going outside the house. But those few foreigners without a place to stay, breaking quarantine actually requires breaking out of the isolation facility. These cases pose the greatest threat to health authorities as they could lead to unpredictable patterns of transmission.
It's much harder to track down their whereabouts because you can't use mobile GPS, card usage records, or CCTV footage. That means contact tracing is also very difficult.
Here in Myeongdong is where one of the quarantine facilities in Seoul is located. It's one of the busiest areas in the city, so if an infected entrant breaks quarantine and walks around the neighborhood, it could lead to a major cluster infection. For a more effective management of some 80 centers across the country, South Korea has announced a new operational plan.
We will share part of the work with the private sector. Hotels, travel agencies and other companies will be in charge of payment, consultation, translation and center management.
However, public officials will stay in charge of key quarantine tasks like deciding release dates and emergency responses. Kyung-eun, Arirang News.